And let's go back with Esquire and Cameron Davis, and let's fall down onto Miramar.
Ooh. Matt, you got that wrong. It's actually going to be Porosaurus joining me now for game number 3 as well as 4 and 5. Yes, it's you. But either way, it is still game number 3, about halfway through, or at least halfway through. This one's going to be halfway through if you want to be specific with the math, but specific with the map. It's going to be method here at Picado.
Gen G Esports Arena.
A Gen G Esports Arena, now coveted, and first circle is going to be up on the eastern side. This is going to be very good for those teams around that area, especially Ghost. Once again, we see a team adjust their drop point and get almost close enough, in this case, gifted the next circle. We've actually been seeing that a lot. Navi had that a lot yesterday. Optic did get it today, even though it seems that they kind of lost the lead there.
You know, it all depends on what you do with your first transition, right? So,
Sure.
But Ghost has been dropping in Puerto Periso this entire time. That last game, we saw one of the craziest circles I think I've seen in a long time, going far, far northwest. Now we're going up more towards the northeast. Ghost instead deciding to loot up in the northeast as well. We can take a look at Otan all by himself out here. What do you got?
What this circle is good for is going to be for Secret, because they've been really struggling today. We saw them have some signs of life yesterday, not just with the win, but also 17 especially, really trying to take charge of the team. He's already their in-game leader, already their shot caller, and he also felt the responsibility to kind of pick up those reins and really start fragging out as well. And he had a couple of good games yesterday, but today, 2 16s in a row is definitely not what you want to have. And because their loot spot is close to the center of this circle, Smitty is actually almost dead center. They should look at using this opportunity to grab a good position to get a really good game out of this one.
Yeah, we saw what happened yesterday when Secret gets the opportunity to transition early towards the center of the circle. They made the most of the opportunity that was presented to them, coming in with a second place and a first place. Unfortunately, things not transitioning too well into today on Miramar, but that could be changing now with this new circle.
Yeah, XQuest is another team. They were top 5. They actually had the first 2 victories of this entire event, but are now currently 10th. But they're in a similar situation to Secret as far as their drop spot being close to the center of this circle. So those are going to be the 2 teams, as well as Team 17. They're close enough as well, and we know how much they like the center. It didn't work out for them last game, but this game they could find an opportunity to grab once again another central spot and really start to frag out, because they've had some good high kill games, even though I think they actually have yet to get a full chicken dinner in themselves.
Yeah, and you can already see M19 is making their way into the circle as Knights still trying to catch a little bit of sparse loot as they are making their way in. Everybody taking the slow road to get to where they need to be. There's only a few spots in there that are available. Oh, what do we got?
Levis actually sent a couple of shots out and dealing quite a bit of damage to Alpaca. Neither of these teams are in the circle, but MVP, they're running on foot, and it looks like they have been unable to find vehicles, which is why they're actually running away from the circle. And this only gives Levis an opportunity, as well as the rest of Divine, to perhaps deal some damage. And to our front runners, they had a pretty good game last game, but a bad game number 1. They don't want to repeat game number 1. Here's going to be one of the crates that has come down. I believe there are 2 overall. No, it's just this one, and this is quite center in this circle. A nice M249 to pick up. XQuest or Team 17 are actually in a good position to go pick this one up, which could lead to an early game crash, but I think it's going to be XQuest, Z9 Max specifically, that gets there first.
Yeah, but they did have Team 17 bearing down on it as well, so 17 needs to be careful. You see M19, again, completing their rotation out of Los Leones, not wasting a whole lot of time there, looting up. Z9 Max taking the shots. He saw 17 there. It's 2 members of 17, and that's one thing that we have kind of come to see.
Get that helmet.
We don't need the M249. Screw the M249. We don't want it. But one of the things that we're seeing from these Asian teams that is kind of throwing a wrench in some of the North American teams especially is that these guys, if you shoot at them, look, normally in North America, if you shoot somebody in rotation, it scares them away. They keep going. They keep driving. Not these Asian teams. They will stop down and they will return fire. They will shoot and they will kill. And that is something that a lot of these teams are still having yet to adjust to.
Yeah. Here's going to be the unfortunate body of Siege from MVP. Levis was able to
we get a
find
replay
a
of
frag onto that. Yes, indeed.
Oh, nice
Long
shots.
Yep, he had support from other teammates on the side as well, so it was a team effort there. But MVP, I believe they were able to find a vehicle for themselves, or at least one player did, because Alpaca here is sitting behind a rock. Levis and Jet just on the ridge above him, looking around. Doesn't seem like they know exactly where he is, though, and so he may be able to get out of this scot-free. But Divine, they are on the hunt, and Alpaca needs to really watch his head.
Yeah, Alpaca just hanging out behind this rock, trying to remain as silent as possible. Oh, but Levis gets the vision on him. Oh, he takes him to almost nothing, and that's going to be Levis taking him out before he gets a chance to make it around. So that's going to be 2 kills picked up for Divine, our last place team, but they're still in a position to take out MVP, our first place team.
Yeah, and still potentially in a position to get into the top 8. I mean,
it
would be rough. It would be a stretch. Rough. It would have to be a couple of wins and then some high kill counts and like all top 5s, but they're not out of it just yet. We'll see how that, follows up at the end of today, but 2 kills.
A journey of 1,000 miles starts with 1 step, Cameron.
Exactly, 1 step and a couple of kills.
And a couple of kills.
Yeah.
Let's take out a couple of them on the way in. So M19 already centering up in a nice little location for themselves. We see Victory 5 continuing their transition in from the west there a little bit more towards the north central right here. Coming into contact with Ghost here pretty soon if they're not careful. Navi making their way up from the Valle de Mar area where they're looting. They're kind of taking a very long westerly transition here on the far side of the map. Could run into Tainted Mines here, but looks like they might be trying to do a far rotation, maybe going towards the north side of this circle.
Ghost already lose 1 player early to an Asian team. This time from China, not exactly Korea, but Landman does get traded. Yeah, did I misread that?
Yeah,
they're the ones who got the frag. Never mind. I saw Ghost and I immediately assumed that they just got fragged.
Oh my! It's toxic.
It's not intentional. That's been what's happened. But McCoy, if he stays too aggressive, he could actually end up getting fragged. He's searching for the body, wants to clean this kill up, but the pressure from the teammates down the ridge is forcing him away. He does spot out the body of Landren. Isn't going to overpush this though, because he has a teammate coming on top of the hill and doesn't want to reveal himself to actually finally get taken out. Literally though, has actually arrived to potentially get a revive on his teammate. Allergen, if he doesn't push forward.
Oh no! You hate
Sub
to
Slayer.
see it.
Uba gets a nice down onto him.
He was trying to change cars, I think.
Oh
no, that sucks. Well, Ghost McCoy's getting that final down onto Landrin, so that's going to be Victory 5 with 1 less player, as Navi finishing off this kill on a Sub Slayer, but they're getting return fire as well, so they got to be careful. You can see, trying to see if they can get vision on where it's coming from. It looks like it's cut down a little bit. Ballot going to get the final shot into Little Lee. And that's going to be 2 down now for Victory 5. Things going very poorly for them. As I said, look, anytime you shoot at the Asian teams in transition, they're going to stop and fire, but that doesn't always mean that they're going to win the fight.
Yeah, literally tried to come up and give assistance to the down teammate, but by doing so, once the teammate went down, he was out in the open and got taken out in his own transition away, and so Victory 5 are going to be down to 2. Ghost still with 4, and like what I hinted at in the very beginning, they took this opportunity to get themselves in strong spots and good sidelines around them. And Victory 5, they're not out of the woods just yet. They're not running into WTSG. Vard has some shots on the Shandian, taking him down to 30% HP, wants to go on the run, wants to find these sight lines to get this kill, because WTSG is another team that really want to start picking up the slack.
He knows he shot the tire out on that. He knows that Shandian is going to be really slow here trying to get away from this. If they can just get over the top of this ridge, maybe get a sight line down onto him, they could pick up this kill. LSN is going to cop into his Bronco and try to get out of there as well. Might be able to provide his teammate a ride. And here comes WTSG. You can see they got the guns away. They're sprinting down here. They want to try to get this kill. They need these 7 points. Looks like LSN, they're actually going to stay here at least for long enough for Shandian to get the heal off.
It's not the greatest compound to hide in. They don't have a lot of vision without the circle, but WTSG, while pushing for Victory 5, ended up finding a sight line onto Ghost. But Turtle with the counter kill back onto VAR. WTSG really need to make a decision if they want to commit to this fight or not. Shots coming in from the long range high point.
He's going to get him.
Turtle finishes off VAR, and the rest of WTSG are right there for more damage.
They're wide out in the open right now. They have the smokes down. They're trying to run, get to a rock, but Ghost right now raining hellfire onto the WTSG. For once, we're actually seeing Ghost all together, all as a group, and it is paying off benefits right now.
You call me toxic.
Hey,
so WTSG, they're able to find a rock. Miraku. And for a second, I thought he lost his helmet, but no, he's still going to have that. Just drinks a little bit of an energy drink.
Well, that works out well for Victory 5, though.
Yeah, that scared them away.
And LSN were in a lot of trouble.
That being said, Victory 5, they're still in a really weak spot. They only have 2 players, and that position doesn't give them any information south of them. Because you saw the cliff that they had to go down for that building. The reason why Shandian wanted to go on top of that ridge, even though they had a compound to themselves, was because they wanted a place that they could see a lot of the circle and get information, and now they're going to be playing blind depending on where the next circle goes. Method, though, coming off of a good second-place finish last game.
Yeah, I like the positioning for Method right here on the top of this hillside. Xiaodu in a little bit of trouble. He's not going to be able to get out of that position he's in right now. You see the rest of his squad just up to the north in Minas Generalis, and the circle's going to pop, and he's going to be safe for now. We do have a couple of teams that do have to transition in. Ghost, for all the shots that they were just taking to WTSG, now has to move into the spot where they were currently where they were previously occupying, Tainted Mines, making the long rotation in from the north, and you can just now see Navi finally getting into the circle. Well, not even in the circle.
Look how popular the center, basically, vertical line of the first circle is, because very few people are actually on the western half of the second circle. Knights are there first, though, and this is already a better transition. Oh, okay. Oh, they actually don't want to stay here. They don't like this spot. Looks to be able to scout out around them and see there's another spot, even better spot free, but here comes Ghost coming onto the compound. That's actually Victory 5 who just left that one, so they were able to get a free compound for themselves, but just as I was saying about that compound, Ghost may feel some pressure to go push for something else. They have enough people to try and do it systematically, though, and they are inside the circle.
Ooh,
but
shots.
17, they have to rotate in, trying to find a center spot. QMCC way ahead of his teammates. M19 also rotating up into XQuest territory. XQuest, they actually have a wide spread in this center area around this mine, and M19, because of that, XQuest didn't have enough sight lines, enough crossfires onto M19's attack that they were able to get inside, but it looks like Xiaodu, he wants to go on the aggressive. He doesn't want to let these guys get comfortable. Yeah,
XQuest gaining a lot of information with that split, but not really able to focus down on anybody. Speaking of focus down, Extreme 2G going to pick up another kill for himself on Uba. And this is going to be Navi now having to play with 3. Extreme 2G has been coming to play these games for Tainted Minds.
Yeah, he was the guy who was sending those shots onto Navi after Subslayer got taken down. And so while the other 2 members, Benchu and Juxi, were rotating away, trying to find their own spot into the circle, he was following them. But also what happened, Xiaodu went way too aggressive onto M19, and it looks like he was found out by example. Full finish onto him as well. Secret, though, looking at them, have yet to really make much noise, but they are in a strong spot themselves.
Yeah, they have a little bit of an overview onto this Minas Generalis area where XQuest and M19 are currently occupying, but they do have Welcome to South George just off to their northwest. We can see Navi now reconnecting with the rest of their teammates, having to transition out, get into this circle. They were in the blue for quite some time, so I do believe they had to stop and heal up a little bit, but they are not going to push too deep. They know that they're coming in late. They know it would be dangerous to go any farther than Hacienda, where they're stopping right now.
Looks like Optic. They're employing a split 2-2 on the southeastern side. They don't want to go for center because they saw just how bad that was last game, especially if the circle shifts off them. And we have seen quite a bit of hard shifts this series.
Yeah, these splits for Optic have not been working out that great. You almost wonder if doing these 2-2 splits are even worth it anymore in these games, in these lands where these Asian teams are playing so aggressive and are crashing as 4 on everything.
That's why they're that's why they're on the edge, though. They're taking a position that they have sightlines on each other. But actually, while you say that, they put my foot in my mouth because it looks like they're going to be rotating up to stay as 4. But Fiend from Secret right here went aggressive, tried to get information for his team, and ended up getting pinned down by AK from XQuest. That tree is really not that thick.
Oh, no.
He just needs to move to the side, finds it. It's going to be AK who finds a final shot onto Fiend. 17 not able to get there in time.
AK just saw 17 in the nick of time. Managed to get the down onto Fiend, but he hasn't confirmed the kill just yet. He's going to try to see if he can't, and there it is. Got the headshot. So the smokes tried to come down. Secret trying to prevent the death of their squad mate, but AK making quick work of him.
Rough decision by Secret to even try and go on the defensive there. Once they recognized that Fiend was out in the open, overextended, they should have just given him up because, well, if they stayed around, they could have taken more damage. And even then, they kind of just barely got out. It was likely that one of them could have gotten a couple of headshots from XQuest and got taken down themselves. But they are able to pull away. They don't overcommit, make a decision to pull back and send some shots down. to Team 17, but they are inside the circle. Navi, though, making the rotation down, able to find a spot into Hacienda del Patron. Relatively empty, some wide fields around them, though. They are going to need to worry about their transition later on to the game, depending on where the next circle goes to. But there is Optic, you can see in the bottom right. They did group up S4, tried to push forward a little bit, but came into contact with Team 17, who are actually employing a wide split themselves. This one's quite ambitious of one. I kind of want to guess that this was due to getting cut in between by M19. I don't know if this is one that they necessarily did on purpose, but we will see what it comes to later.
Oof.
It's actually may work out for them because the left split of them is in this next circle that swings off of the right split, and that's going to give an opportunity for Shao and Shox to rotate in. But by doing so, they may have to go through XQuest, M19, and Optic. A crate's going to be dropped down with an M249 as well as an 8X. So Optic may be able to pick that one up while they rotate into the circle, but it is out in the open, and so they may just want to drive past it and find a safe spot to hunker down in.
Yeah, that might be actual suicide if they try to stop and get that. They do have Team 17 just to the northeast, and they have Gen G off to the west. Gen G making their way into circle, not going too deep, just far enough to get in and stake a little bit of claim as XQuest still holding down Minas Generalis. They are going to reconnect and come together as M19 actually pushing into that same compound. And meanwhile, we have Method, who's just pushing in from the south. This could pop off.
Oh, it could pop off another way the Method wanted, because Moleman gets immediately taken down by Bachelin. 8C is there for potential revive, going to deploying the smoke to try and assist that, but the sightlines from M19 as well as...
Oh my gosh, look at this
Gen G have a line onto them as well, so Method, their compound that they were holding was just below a ridge, and they realized that by holding that one, M19 were able to easily slide into the one above them. They tried to go up aggressive to try and kind of take it back, but they ended up potentially losing a player. I think the revive is going to come through, but they are going to need to try and group back up and keep those two players alive.
And honestly, that right there, what you just saw with Gen G taking those shots down on a Method is why pro players absolutely hate Miramar, because that happens all the time. You think you have a nice little push into the squad in front of you, and then all of a sudden you're getting third party from 300 meters away. Meanwhile, Shao, they're trying to make it through. Two in the pickup. The tire's going to go out. Shox is going to go down. Shao is very low. He pulls out the frag, tries to pull out the smoke. It's not going to be enough. Gen G is going to pick up both of them, but not before getting taken very, very low. They should be able to finish off these kills here. Yep, there's Chalater getting the final down onto both of them with the SKS from range. But Gen G still, they have two inside, still two outside. They want to hold on to that high ground for as long as possible before having to push in. But right now, Minas Generalis is starting to really get a little hectic.
Team 17 just did that way too late, ultimately, is what happened. They should, right when they recognized that M19 left that mine compound, they should have driven in, but because they waited so long, it gave opportunity for Gen G as well as Optic to set up a crossfire between them. But Ghost, they're going to have to move in on foot. They're actually swinging in on the eastern side. They only got a knock on a player of Secret. Look at Balak pushing heavily forward. Check having to swap to his M4. Balak gets the immediate down onto Check. There's going to be 17 left as the lone player of Team Secret. And Ghost, they can push in, but as you said, it is a three-way fight. WTSG may be able to find an angle onto them. So Ghost need to make sure they're able to use the terrain to isolate themselves from the European competitors to their northwest. They're aware that Secret have at least one player left. They may actually know exactly where he is as well, because it looks like Balak wants to go on the aggressive in that direction.
Oh, Secret. 17 has the vision. Oh, it's not going to be enough. That's and this is something that I like to see from Ghost. Ghost now pushing as a four-man squad. They're not splitting up. They're not sending one off and to go scout. They're playing as four and moving as a roaming death squad. Yeah. It's paying off dividends right now.
This is actually a little dangerous to WTSG right now, because if Ghost, if they're okay playing on this edge of the circle, they could lock WTSG into that compound. You could see it's kind of a moat of area around the area. But speaking of transition, Gen G, they're trying to bomb straight inside, and Chelator and Simpson immediately taken out by M19. A quite ambitious roam. They were already in the circle, but they just got too greedy, trying to get an even more central position. The next circle you can see on the minimap is going to swing up north, but unfortunately those two players of Gen G are not going to partake.
Yeah, but Tooling gets taken out as well in some third-party action. Konstantinovic going to go down as well. Some M19 elite player is hiding out in this warehouse. Chris is right on top of him. They have 8C, Rafi, and Moleman. They're just off to the side. I don't think they are aware that elite player is in here. He's just playing it as sneaky as possible. He's not getting any support from his squad mates either on this one. They had to take care of the Gen G crash
Oh, another
and
knock.
it looks like they're actually safe. The elite players should be fine.
Yes, but I don't know about the rest of
I don't know about the rest
M19
of them.
because Optic have been dealing a lot of damage to them. Actually ended up knocking a second player. It's just one alive there. And actually because of Method holding elite player in that corner, he is unable to go and assist his teammates. And with Optic, again, these sight lines, they can just put so much pressure on M19. I don't even know if they're able to get the revive or not.
Oh, Genji. So yeah, they manages to get past them, but yeah, M19 in a lot of trouble right now. They might be able to get these reses off. It looks like Optic is taking put their attention more onto transitioning in right now, as we see Navi is taking out Vega, Max Izor, and Balak actually. Oh, now Ghost is actually getting involved with WTSG.
This is what I'm talking about. WTSG trying to retreat from that, and Turtle gets a second onto Larson. And so with that Hilltop, able to get on top, but Dana Mind's also in a fight, also third-partying this. Not able to get any kills to themselves, and actually trying to return fire back onto Ghost. Balak overextending a little bit, but Juxi takes a lot of damage, has to hide back behind cover. The four-man strong team of Ghost is ready to play.
WTSG, I think, down to just one player in Miracu. Miracu managing to get out of this fight for now, but he is now taking shots as well. Pokemolidoy knows that Vampire Gaming is right here. He's taking shots from a distance. He can't get a good angle, a safe angle to try to finish off Vampire here. Oh, there it is. He's going to get it. And you can also see in the background Turtle eliminating Gaxi, so that's going to be WTSG going down.
No, they still have Miracu left. He's able to
Miracu.
make his way away from that, but they are definitely, certainly weakened. And with the pressure, potential pressure from the north as well as the east, I don't know how long Miracu is going to be lasting in this. Unless we are looking over to Navi. Yeah, they've had an interesting game so far. Rotation's not working out in their favor this time as it worked out, especially the first game. But even, well, I guess it's better so far than last game because last game wasn't that great for them either, especially in the late game. But this is the familiar sight for them, having to hide behind vehicles, hide behind smokes, just barely in the circle. But if Divine don't get cleared out, and it's actually going to be the Knights shooting at them as well as Method, if Divine do not get cleared out, Navi are going to be stuck in this corner.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Divine's trying to do here. They're not. I guess they were just trying to figure out where the shots were coming from. JJ Leo's going down. It looks like he might be able to get rezzed here by Nikki. Looks like they eventually did find Raffi. Navi still hiding behind this rock. Divine hasn't had a chance to pay attention to them just yet. Method is just gatekeeping everybody here.
They are, but it looks like their focus is all on the northwest of them, this western side. They need to make sure they don't get aggressed upon by M19 as well as QMCC, the lone remaining player of 17. Because look at the map, it's quite close to each other.
No.
They're turning around. Raffi does spot one. Gets a knock into QMCC. That's going to be Team 17 eliminated in 14th place. But they need to be aware of M19's position. He sees Raffi sees something, but takes a lot of damage. Has to go behind cover. Unable to grab that bike because the blue is coming in.
M19 got all of those reses off earlier from when they were in the fight with Optic, so they are 4 strong right now, and they are fighting with Method on the edge of the blue. Example goes down, so it's just elite player Batulin and Constantine having to figure out how to fight with Method. Meanwhile, Divine and Navi finally interacting with each other now that Method has allowed them to run around. It looks like Navi's just going to go ahead and get out of there, but this fight is now popping off between Method and M19. Elite player has gone down. Constantine thinks he has an angle onto Raffi. Raffi's going to toss the grenade. It's going to go out the door. Will it be close enough? No, it will not. Method down to 3. M19 down to 2. Meds have gone off. Heals have gone off. Oh, look at that angle. That's so sneaky. Oh, and he gets the down on it too.
He does get He almost took too much damage in that engagement there. He's going to have a follow-up grenade to hopefully stop any extra push inside from Constantine, but it's going to be Raffi with the off angle to finish off M19. Following up 2 third-place finishes, go out in 13th, and Method stay as 4 strong
but
once again. Yeah, they do need to worry about that. XQuest heard all this action happening, and they slowly creeped forward to get closer to the circle. But they're also aware they're in a good position to potentially punish another team having to rotate away. Divine still chasing after Navi, but also having to run away from the pressure of Method and the Knights.
And now Method turning their attention back to Divine. Method, after the clean fight against M19, were able to get back to their position of gatekeeping Divine and Navi. See Tainted Minds trying to get the res here onto Extreme 2G. They're going to have to do it pretty quickly as they have to make their way into this next circle. Method now having to make their way down this wide open hill using the good use of the smokes here, but Knights is not going to make it easy.
There was Valiant there swinging out on the side of Optic to actually steal a kill of Turtle away. I believe it was Tainted Minds that got that initial knock in the fight with Ghost, but he gets punished and taken out, and Ghost having to run away from that. Divine is certainly eliminated eventually by 8C for Meth, and that leaves just Na'Vi up here on the north, but they're having to push into Knight's territory. Once again, using smoke. They do have a little bit of deflate, but Gen G, they're blowing up the leaderboard right now, taking out another member of Optic as well as AK from XQuest.
Hetro, the last remaining player, it looks like he's very, very low here. But man, you gotta wonder how much utility Na'Vi still has, having used about 1 million smokes to make their way into that position that they're currently at. Method now has made their way down as well. Na'Vi has a nice little defilade to work here. But Knights, looks like they're very interested. But, oh, there comes the Molotov, and Hetro is gonna go down to Ghost.
Luckily, they still have Baja
player
Waka left. Yep, luckily they do still have Baja Waka left on the edge, but there's not a lot of room for him to play around. Na'Vi, though, they have a bit of space, but they got to make sure they don't get third-partied. Luckily, though, looks like MVP, they're getting stopped away from that third party, but Method here still 4 strong, trying to do a lot of damage to rotating teams inside. They are able to knock Wicked. Kill stolen away by Cobra, but Loki in the middle of a fight with more members of XQuest. Almost taken out. I think he's the last remaining member, and he is not... Still alive. Still alive in this, as well as Na'Vi. Pokemon trying to deal tons of damage to Method. Gets spotted, has to run away, taken down very low. The next circle has popped, has revealed itself, and it is once again away from Na'Vi, away from the edge. That's how it works. Kramer, though, taking long-range shots onto XQuest, who have really been scattered at this point. They had a strong hold in the southern edge of the previous circle, but trying to find a way inside have gotten systematically deleted by multiple teams.
This is a really good circle for Ghost and for Knights. Knights have control of the compound. Ghost have control of the high ground. Now, it's a matter of what Knights can do to Na'Vi here, as Na'Vi is going to have to push through them to get into this next circle. Method has gotten taken very, very low for all the damage and destruction that they were doing earlier. They are just down to 1 player now, as we see a number of snakes. We have Baja, we have Loki from Gen G, we have Raffi from Method, we have Miracu from Welcome to South Georgia, we have Juxi from Tainted Minds. There are just so many solo players. 19 players alive, but 10 teams still up.
Along with those solos, we've got a couple of duos as well.
There goes one.
Yeah, Raffi's out, so that's going to be Method out in 10th. We're in top 9 teams. Na'Vi's still close to Knights, so they need to make sure. But that's another knock on the Pokemolidor. That's actually, sorry, to Drain. His Pokemolidor just got finished off. But Drain is knocked and now finished off by Voxic.
Shade.
It is just Shade, but he has gotten quite close. Still not inside the circle just yet. This compound that Knights are holding is only half inside. But Shade having to crawl through, hoping that the Knights don't spot him. In fact, you hear him dropping pieces of his equipment to be as small of a model as humanly possible.
He does have a wall to work with, which is about all you can really ask for here in this position, as Knights spread out, trying to gain as much information as they can. You can see in the background Ghost finding Baja Waka, but he's going to die to Blue, so that's a kill that's not going to go to the boys from Ghost. Loki has managed to make his way in just on the edge. He found some nice little cars to hide behind, but Victory 5 and MVP now right on top of each other.
Yeah, MVP gets the knock on the LSN, but Zero Tan taken very low, has to retreat. Follow-up spray down does ring true, and it is going to be Victory 5 removed in 8th place. MVP. Now they have to worry about going to the Knights, so Vox are getting it down, and Balak chiming in as well. So after they remove Victory 5, MVP are now out in 7th. We got 6 teams left, and what is that? 10 alive. That's 3 snakes, 1 group of 3, 1 group of 4. And Shade, one of the solos, does find 1 knock, but immediately traded out by Texas. Have enough time to get the revive as well, because I think they're just barely inside the circle.
Just like that, we're down to just 3 teams. We have the 3 members of Ghost with the high ground and the circle now, as Knights are going to have to push out of this compound and make their way up the hill. This is such a tough position for them to be in, especially now that they did get the res off, so they are 4 strong. But how do you push up this hill? How do you do this with so much open area? They better hope they have smokes.
You better get the knocks as well. That's what you need. Get a couple of knocks, and that's the only window that you can force for yourself. Even with the smoke, you're at risk getting sprayed down. But oh, there we go. That's actually the knock in the direction that Knights do not want. It's going to be Voxic taken out. Again, still able to get the revive, but it did remove a helmet, and that's a big point in this game right now. They are aware as well, Ghost, of Loki's position from Gen G, so he's not going to be able to have an easy enough time snaking in this game. He's probably going to go out third because there are still 4 members of Knights available. But look at this push by McCoy.
Be careful
he
here.
doesn't, yes, but he still has rocks and a hill to play around. He is pushing forward, but he's not quite overextending just yet, and he does not want to give Knights any opportunity to come anywhere close to this circle. They want this, and they want this bad.
Ghost trying to split up so they can get multiple angles of fire here, but they need to be so careful. If any of them go down, it is very unlikely that they'll be rezzed again. Drayden trying to get into the truck and move, and he's going to go down. They're trying to take these vehicles. Texas pushing in hard. Manages to get into circle and get behind a rock, but there's that multiple angle of fires. Alashin, he's not going to be able to find the shots to finish it off. Texas pulling out the frag. He knows where Alashin is. He's just going to run. And McCoy with the nade is going to get the down on to Texas. And that should be the kill. Voxic and Krama, the last 2 remaining members up for Knights. Balak and Alashin playing this side by side. Balak with that sniper is so devastating. We saw it yesterday. He can lay in these shots in his sleep. Now that is going to be... Loki actually going to take out Krama.
For a second, Loki looks like he may actually be able to get a second place finish, depending if Voxic gets discovered by McCoy, and he does!
There it is!
Just before he gets taken out, so Loki is able to crawl to second place with 20 kills!
20 kill win. Holy.
That snuck up on us. That's even better than what Navi did earlier today.
Goes, and that is 9 kills from McCoy, 8 kills from Balak, 2 from Turtle, 1 from Allergen, and that is 20 kills for the boys from North America. Unbelievable performance. You give them high ground and you give them vision, they will land the damn shots.
You also got to give them 3 alive, and that's what happened. They came in more than 2, and that has been unable. From what they've been unable to do that in games leading up to this one, but they've been able to find something in this game. Hopefully they can take this. It's going to give them a lot of points, but they do